Hello everybody, this is me, Qua, and today we'll be reviewing the Magic Square Skyfire, or Jetfire, but Skyfire. Anyways, without further ado, here he is, and I will talk about the positive things first. Jet mode is as good of approximation of that jet mode as you could possibly get. All the ones that go for cartoon accuracy for this fellow always kind of suffer in one department or another, just due to it being one of those designs that kind of is supposed to vaguely go into both. It wasn't really designed. This design was never designed to be a toy. It's the best way of putting it. Oh yeah, you could also open that, and there's a little seat. Pretty cool. Maybe you could fit like a Diaclone character in there. I know Titan Master's too big. I don't know if a vintage Diaclone can fit in there or not. Let me know in the comments if you have this and I can. Definitely Human Alliance is too big. A minifigure's too big. So yeah. Or maybe a Legend Scaled Headmaster? I don't know. No, that would still be too big, yeah. But yeah, nice little cockpit thing. But yeah, no, this figure rolls, which is nice. The landing gear on the New Age one does not do that. Yeah. I'll talk about more things I like in robot mode. Oh, I also do like the transformation for this. I kind of hate one part of the New Age one, which we'll kind of go over, but we're going to vehicle into robot for both. So yeah. Okay, thing I want to point out. I forgot to point out, you actually kind of untransform the feet somewhat, so then these become covers, so that way it makes it cleaner. Forgot to mention that. I'll just edit this in somewhere. But yeah. So it's a little bit of a different process for both. Or obviously it's a different transformation for both of these guys, but going to robot mode on the New Age one's easier than going in from robot to jet. It's not a pain in the ass because the New Age one, for the most part, is a lot simpler than this. But yeah. And I just completely kind of just started transforming this thing. Wow. Okay. We're just going to move that real quick and then move that back. I'll just show you how to do this one wing. So what you do, push that down. Fold this piece in. Fold that down. Boop. Got that done. Do the same side the same. We untab these legs. Push that together. Now you want to rotate the engines so they're facing like that, so they're like rather close to each other. You push that piece in. Okay, hold on. I did not. But you want to make sure these pieces line up with each other, because there's these two little grooves that these kind of have to go into. Like right there. So yeah. Once you got the backpack done, what you want to do is you're not completely done until you rotate it down. And then rotate it down. Perfect. Now you want to open up the legs. And okay, and before you do the legs, you want to get the feet out, because that will allow you to move the legs. So go back, accordion that out, boop, boop. Oh, and before you do that, you want to bring back the landing gear, fold that inside. And note this Magic Square one is going to be cheaper than a New Age one, despite it being more, the engineering being a little bit more involved. But that said, when we get into build of this figure, I'll actually start to go bitch about things on him, because while I do like the look of the figure overall better, this figure is just kind of a little stinky doo-doo in the build department. He just, I'll get into that when I get into that. We do the legs the same way, the other one, and now we're going to get into the arms. So what you want to do is untab this piece, just kind of fold in everything just about. Keyword is just about. the arms, you want to kind of undo them like so. Okay, then kind of undo that, so it's like that. But you kind of want to like while you're doing this, you kind of want to get this out, so that way that's out. Boop, boop. Alright, and then just kind of swivel that, so it'll be like that. And you just want to swivel it back. Boop. And then you unfold these from right there, because they'll be kind of... Okay, there we go. We'll move it like that. It'll be like that, right? That piece. So what you want to do is move it like so. I kind of flex the plastic there a little, but you don't have to do that. I was just doing that just to get this done quickly, and something fell. I think that was actually kind of important. Nice. And oh yeah, it was. Oh boy. Yeah, for whatever reason, these side pieces on him, like for his waist, just like to pop off. I think there's a thing where things are just not glued in on this figure, and yeah, so it kind of ends up feeling like a piece of shit. But again, we'll get into that a little later when we get into the build of this figure. But yeah, then you kind of push this shit like so. Okay, and then just kind of... There's a certain order of operations you gotta do. I didn't get it right with the cockpit area, because if you don't do it in a super uber specific way, it's gonna end up not being a fun process per se, like getting this shit like together. Once it's kind of in, shit. There's like a double hinge here, because yeah, it won't be able to close because it's not done properly. Okay, so let me try to see what the hell's going on here, because sometimes I want to like close this piece like with, oh yeah, wait a minute, I think I... Whoa. Okay, no, that's not it. Okay, there you go. So get that like that, so that way it's just the nose cone going back into the backpack, and then that will kind of tap together, but you got to make sure there's parts of this that tap together, and then just make sure the shoulder pieces lock into place there, and we're almost done. We just got to transform the hands and we are good to go. We're going to rotate the head, which is a beautiful head sculpt. Okay, so we're gonna open the bottom of the hand here, push that up, do the same thing on the other side, and fuck. Okay, that kind of, I didn't feel the greatest. There we go, and yeah, here is Jetfire. They do a metallic paint version. I'm not going to pick it up just because Jetfire is one of those characters that doesn't really need that per se. But if they did a version of this that was comic inspired, I may pick up another one. But yeah. Aside from that, yeah, no. Anyways, here he is in robot mode. Oh yeah, his gun. I guess his hand is designed more like a regular transformer. As well, it opens. It has that hole, so you could just kind of slot it in, so that way it doesn't fall off. Which is an issue with the other Jetfire. But that, I don't know if that's just because that gun was an afterthought in New Age 1. We'll get into that when we get into that with that one, because I don't have the original, the Toon Color New Age Jetfire. So, we'll get into that when we get into that. But anyways, here he is in robot mode. And we'll get off into head sculpt. So head sculpt looks nice. Very nice. One of my more favorite Jetfire head sculpts. And yeah, his one accessory is another plate, which I put a Decepticon logo on. So you could just plop that off and plop that on. Now, I only got 2. I don't know, because I know some people have gotten 3 with theirs. So they could just have it blank. I don't know if I got fucked and didn't get that 3rd one, or if it's just 2 and they got lucky that they got a 3rd. So yeah, I don't know if that's the case or whatever, but yeah. So we'll go over articulation in just a second, but I just want to actually go into some size comparisons. Here he is with a Magic Square Shockwave. Here he is with a Magic Square Megatron. And here he is with a New Age Optimus. And here he is with a New Age Seeker mold. And here he is with a New Age Ultra Magnus. And last but not least, here he is with a New Age Devastator. I'll move this back a little so I can get kind of a little size. Very interesting size-wise. Okay, now I'm going to put everybody back, and we're going to go talk about articulation. So, yeah. We'll get into that. Okay. So, you got some pretty good ankle rockers. You got double jointed legs, but he doesn't have a butt flap, so his legs can only go like that far if you don't bend it, and then yeah, his front leg, it can go all the way, but it kind of breaks the sculpt horribly. You get waist, and if you lift that, you can kind of get some more. You can move the wings out of the way so you can get a little bit more, but not a credible amount more. You got butterflies, so you can get quite a bit forward. Single jointed elbows, but you can get more than 90, which is really nice. And then of course you got wrist swivels and bicep swivel. And then it's technically like a swivel at the elbow more so, but it's really clean and does the same purpose, so yeah. And there's of course the thigh swivel there. On the knee pad is adjustable, so you can kind of cover it a little so it looks better. And yeah, and his neck's on another joint, so you can kind of finagle it a little. You do get some good side to side. Looks up pretty good. Of course, you can move the neck peg so you can get more so there. You can't really look down to how his chin is. But yeah. And then of course, as we were showing you earlier, the hands move, the index finger is independent from the other fingers. Pretty nice. And yeah. That said, now we're going to go to the negatives. That gap. There's another that gap. I'm trying to see what else. There's another gap in here. I think that's the only other noticeable one. It's like that on both legs. As you can see there. But yeah, yeah, and then you have it on the other side as well. That was kind of like that out of packaging, which is kind of oof. And then what's also an oof, which this particular part's gonna plague every copy of this thing. This thing feels like shit. I now know what they mean by Magic Square plastic when everybody talks about how shitty Magic Square plastic is. Because this thing feels like a piece of shit. Like, I am not even joking about that. Like, it feels very shitty. Like, it just does. It feels so chalky. Like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this thing. It just does not feel great, like, at all. Like, it doesn't feel like a bootleg, but, like, it just doesn't feel good. Like, I've never had this issue with the Optimus being the Masterpiece scaled one. Not the new one, the older one. Or the Shockwave, or the Megatron. And there are things I really like about this figure. Like, I like its presence. It's a nice presence in silhouette. Love the fucking head sculpt. Transformation is a joy. It's involved, but it's fun. And doesn't make me mad, which is always great. And his transformation is a nice in between the Shockwave and the Megatron. Where it's more involved in the Shockwave, but it's a hell of a lot more simple than that Megatron. And it's a fun transformation, but like the fucking plastic just fucking kills it. Weapons painted beautifully, but like fuck. It's just for like $80. Like, I've seen this go for 70 or 60 in certain spots. So yeah, but like I think TF Source and BBTS are charging like 120 or something. That's gross. Don't buy this thing for that. Pay under $100 if you're gonna buy this Jetfire. And even then, it's a very strong maybe, cause like this thing just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel great. And it's like one of those things, like, what the fuck? Like, if they just made it out of normal ABS, you wouldn't be having this issue. Like, I'd rather this be made out of the same plastic as fucking 8-Face, because at least that still felt better. Fuck. The plastic is such a turn-off. It's like, it almost kills it for me, but, like, I really like the look of this figure. And some of the tolerances could be better, but there's screws there, so you could just easily fix that. It's mainly the legs for me. Tolerances aren't exactly ideal, but they're fixable. Very, very fixable. But yeah, that's a look at the New Age Jetfire. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. I recommend this if you like the silhouette of it, but if you don't mind the Magic Square plastic, then it's a good choice for your Legend Scale Jetfire, or just for a desk Jetfire toy if you just want to transform something. A Jetfire that isn't like 60,000 feet tall. But yeah, but our next figure we'll be reviewing, which is the New Age version of Skyfire / Jetfire, but I'll be referring to that one as Jetfire, as you'll see why. Feels a lot better and has my recommendation a lot higher, just because of the feel alone. But yeah. But anyways, this is me, Kwa, signing out here. You guys have a good one. Peace.